Welcome, everybody, to Disruptive Conversations. And in these series of conversations, we're talking together about wellness, inner strength. And I was thinking about this today as I got myself to the gym, which I didn't feel like doing this morning, and was driving home. And I was thinking about how we need to take care of ourselves and the importance of doing that and finding strength and power in our wellness. And today, Leah Valencia Key is joining us for that journey, and she has incredible information to share with us. I see that she's joined, but I don't yet see her asking. I see that she has come on and that she's waving. I'm happy to wave to you, Leah. And I'm looking to and Leah, okay, I'm seeing the request and I'm accepting. I see so many people are coming in today for this, and Leah is joining us. I'm waiting for her to buffer on. Oh my gosh. And here is my friend, my heart, my friend in yellow. And right, and I don't do it as well as you do, Leah,
I do it so often. It's natural. That's perfect.
but here it is. And you know what? I may not do this well, but I wear this all the time. I wear a heart
Yes.
all the time. We always need to stay connected with our heartfulness.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled to have you on. I'm going to just welcome the show, welcome everyone, introduce myself, and then I have your bio, which is the abbreviated version.
Yes. As tight as you want to make it.
That's the abbreviated version. I'm going to work on that some more. There's just so much to say about you, and I'm thrilled to say every single word. So welcome everyone to Disruptive Conversations, in which we deep dive into the experiences of these incredible women who have learned, women who are entrepreneurs, innovators, thought leaders, authors, educators, designers, in which we deep dive into the experiences they have needed to navigate and conquer in order to have achieved the level of professional and personal success up to this point in time. I'm Dr. Risa Reiger, clinical psychologist, and I'm an expert in change. And here's the good news, that you're never too late. Positive change can happen at any point in time, but in order to change, we need to disrupt. You need to disrupt a thought, a feeling, belief, a habit, a behavior in order to really step in and create your 10.0 life. And that's what this series of conversations is all about. And today, to add more depth and information and heartfulness into that journey, I am beyond thrilled to have Leah Valencia Key here. And let me tell you a little bit about her. Leah was raised, as she writes, in very humble beginnings, a super impoverished neighborhood in Philadelphia. She and her family experienced life in a homeless shelter with her mother, sister, and brother, and mom. Okay, so here's where the pearls of what we get from others, the pearls, the diamonds, the jewels of what we get from others stay with us throughout our lives. That your mom, Leah's mom, said to her, "Your predicament does not determine your destiny." And Leah's mom encouraged her to never wear the house without her sparkling earrings, because they would serve as reminders of the light within. And so, shattering glass ceilings, Leah went on to obtain her bachelor's degree in business, a master's degree in education, cosmetology, instructor's license. And she also went on to create Valencia Key Jewelry Company, which is dedicated to wearable joy. And in addition to all of that, Leah's on QVC, and she really every space that she walks into. You see that yellow behind her? You see that yellow sunshine, that yellow light, and that yellow joy? This is what Leah takes with her into every single room that she walks into, every keynote address that she gives, in addition to giving the keynote speaker for her dear friend Jamie Kern Lima's Becoming Unstoppable events. And Leah just brings it every single time. And she is the living example. Every single day, she makes it her business, personal and professional, makes it her business to do and do, be, and create what is possible. And so, Leah, here you are. It's so great to be together.
Thank you. That's it's so beautiful to be here. Thank you for sharing my light and heart to all of your hearts. Thank you, everyone that will connect with us. It's an honor. I love the concept of disrupting to get to your true destiny, to your dreams, to your purpose, to literally who you are called to be. You have to. You've got to, because life, you can get into a routine, whatever that routine is, and routines are great, but then some routines kind of keep us stuck. So when we can realize, like, oh, like my mother said, like, oh, your predicament doesn't determine your destiny, that's power to really acknowledge it, hold true to it, and believe it. And then the question is, okay, if that is true, this predicament that I'm in right now is not feeling good or looking good, or it's great, but I know there's more. What do we do? And I think that's where that disruption meaning you literally have to um, shake up what you're doing and connect. I think connection is power. Like our connection here.
Connection is power. It's power. That's what got us here.
Mhm.
And I think that our connection is really, you're talking about living example. Our connection is living example of what happens when if you want to talk about it as risk, but I like to think of it differently. I like to think of it as extending a hand in possible friendship, right?
Yes.
And when you think of it as risk, that's one thing. But if you think of it as positive, as possible friendship, then
Yes.
a whole other. I think it hits a whole other space.
You know, risk is beautiful. I think many things can be, and so it's a mind. Everything's a mindset. What I'm realizing about life, and I was just talking to this wonderful gentleman, John Johnson. I forgot his last name. He's amazing. And we were speaking about it's all in the context in which you decide to see the picture, see the experience, interpret the response, and it's all here, right? And so, risk as well as fear, because I believe that my mother was paralyzed by fear, amongst other things that in that moment she couldn't control: society, stereotypes, generational curses, poverty that had constricted her. So there were things that were binding her. But within all of that, fear was cropping up. But I loved that she was able to use her words because words are powerful. Oh my gosh. I would encourage, if I don't say anything, of connection to our heart. For now, my connecting key to unlock light and possibility is to speak everything that is positive thoughts in your brain.
Okay.
Because when you speak it out, it gives it movement. So my mother couldn't physically break out of the constraints that she was birthed in, but she spoke those words into her children's life, and I'm grateful that I was able to grow hold to them. And then when you grow hold to it, I start to look at seeing fear and risk in a positive way. So back to the mindset concept, like, yes, we will experience fear. I don't know if there's running from that. But how do you embrace when fear comes? Like, do you say, okay, this fear means I'm stepping into something really big right now. Okay, this means I got to go learn something. Okay, I'm going to have to let my greater power tap into me right now, but I'm going to move anyway. That's how I see and feel when I feel fear. And risk the same. They are all risk. You risk
Mm-hmm.
not working out. What does your body do? You risk working out, you can hurt yourself. Like, they're risks, but what is the reward of a risk? And then I feel like when you are looking at risk in this positive way, you get to move more. And then with connection is just so beautiful because we can't go alone. I don't know anyone that has been able to do anything alone. And when you're able to connect like this, it's beautiful.
I can agree with you more. Here we are
Yes.
now. And Leah, what is it that you needed to disrupt inside of yourself in order to have achieved what you have both personally and professionally up to this point?
I'm in a I'll tell you what I had to disrupt, but I love being transparent. I'm not perfect. I'm always trying to grow, and I'm in a disruption right now that I have to disrupt. But
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger, I had to disrupt the notion that everything I saw, everything that was given to me, I had to be, or the situations. It really, that first disruption was stemming from my mother's words: your predicament does not determine your destiny. Because I thought at that time, well, this is where we are. We're poverty. We don't have a home. We're homeless. This is how everyone is thinking and acting, then such as me. And I had to disrupt that thought process and say, no, this is where I'm physically at, but there's somewhere that I'm going, and then now all I have to do is think about getting to the place that I'm not in right now and not think of where I'm at. And that's a hard disruption because um, to be experiencing hunger and lack and still try to think of something that you can't even fathom that can actually happen and then live in the future versus live in the now, it's such a disruption to your mindset. Also, I had to disrupt the mindset that my things that I thought weren't great about me, meaning like I don't write well. Say words wrong sometimes. I grew up in the Philadelphia public school system in the inner city. So the learning wasn't the best. And initially, I would think that made me not good enough. These are my limitations. But I disrupted that mindset to say, I'm going to be all of me, and all of me is good enough to go everywhere my dreams are supposed to take me. And I'll just learn along the way.
That's really incredible to be able to acknowledge where you are now, and also especially as a young person, because you're talking
Yeah.
about another in your in your
Yes.
life, that you also envision something, and you envision something that you don't know. And that's no wonder you're designing jewelry,
Yeah.
because you were, this, it sounds like this was a step in designing and beginning to design your life.
Exactly. And that's how I live now. My disruption mindset is like, I am in this current tangible moment, but I'm literally envisioning beyond today, and I'm painting that picture clearly, and I'm dreaming. I had to disrupt the pattern of not dreaming. I believe in dreaming. I believe in dreaming so big. I know people are like, dreams, you should have goals. I believe in dreaming things that you tell yourself is not possible. Then that's what's possible.
You give yourself, if you that's where envisioning can be so important. But there's another piece which is also enormously important that you have done. Dreaming is important, envisioning is important, and also going from that to implementing and taking action.
Yes, that's probably
Let's put
they're
that
they're equally
way.
important though. They're equally important because
Absolutely.
like you can't have true great action without great dreams and visions. But sometimes you have one and you don't have the other. And sometimes you have a lot of action, but the dream's not clear enough and not strong enough to support. Because what happens when you have enough strong enough dream, when the storms blow, you're able to stand back up. But if you just only have strong action, you give up. I mean, what am I doing it for? So then you're resetting all the time to something new because this action didn't work. But if you have a clear dream, you keep going toward that dream, every single obstacle, every single victory.
Yeah. When and they don't, it doesn't happen 50-50.
No,
Dream action. It doesn't happen 50-50. And one can pull the other, and then the other can come in.
yes, yes,
We have
yes.
our moments of what I call integration, where it just kind of, it's like lock and key, right? I
Yes.
can't get away from that metaphor
I love a lock and key.
of the key, of the keys.
Yeah.
Keys are to keys are for unlocking. And whether it's physical or mental, physiological.
It unlocks. And I do love that concept because then when you think about that are, they coexist, then you can help monitor yourself. So I have one of the bracelets and it has, if you can see that joy check and you see the word joy and then there's a check mark right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I created that because if you live life in checks and balances with yourself, you can see growth. So, it's same thing when we're talking about dreaming and action. You're able to check in with yourself. Am I dreaming too much with no action? Okay, Leah, kick some action in. Am I doing so much action that I forgot the dream?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Leah, get back into your dream. And that's how I play with my life's mindset. Like the same thing. I also love having grounded foundational words and emotions and beings that are action based that I root into. And that helps me with my dreams and my actions. So like joy is a word that I decided to root into when I created Valencia Key Jewelry. This is a rooted ring collection, and I created the rooted collection because a storm was coming. I'm dreaming and I'm acting, and I'm dreaming and I'm acting, but I'm getting obstacles and challenge as we all do. But I had inner joy. I had the human suffrage, but the core of me had inner joy and inner peace. And I couldn't understand how I was still standing. And I start to think, oh, because I decided at an early age, and now I consistently make it a practice to define what I'm rooted into. Like a root grows deep in the ground, and I take words and I define them as action words. So joy is one of my words that I root into. Joy to me is an everlasting, imminent emotion and experience that I decide to be and feel and find no matter what. So, no matter what's going on around me, I can be human, I can get angry, I can feel the feels, and then I root back into what I said I am. I'm joy. Okay, find the silver lining. What can you learn from it? How can you be excited within the challenge? Peace is the most powerful word that I believe, but many of us don't take it as impactful as these words that we hear often, like love and joy. But peace to me, to have joy, you have to find peace. And to be love, you've got to find peace because peace is a spirit of tranquility and balance that you can find in the midst of any situation you're in. And so I root into these words. So when I need to call on them, I know what they should look like. And I define for me what they should look like. So when I'm not acting like that, I check in to put myself into that space and being.
And I'm going to add to that in terms of one that it's, that you know it, but also, so much of what happens, and this is going to be a segue for us as well, is that we also experience it in our bodies and we are connected and need to
Yeah.
listen to the language of the body, which is not verbal. It's messaging, it's sensations, it communicates with us powerfully in different kinds of ways, sometimes has to really fight very hard for us to hear it. But
Yeah.
that being in feeling that you're in peace in your body, feeling the physicality and the somatic aspect of it is really important. So when we're talking about strength and power, and we're talking also about wellness, one of the crucial aspects of our wellness that really had been pushed aside for a super long time, Leah, is really mental
Mm.
wellness being part of the wellness picture. And in what ways, what's your vision of what that looks like of mental wellness, and what do you do towards that end for you?
Yeah. The mind is the most powerful entity that we possess. I know we know it because it helps us function, but every time I think about it, I'm like, wow, it all starts in the mind. So being able to find truths that you practice for the mind is so important because the mind will spiral. You are not alone if you've felt a spiral, meaning you've went down the turmoil and everything becomes bigger or more negative or more challenging, or you had one issue and then you create a big story around it. That's the power of when the mind allows it to go and not be really cared for and honed into and guided, because the mind has to be guided. um, I believe that the heart helps guide the mind. And I believe that if I try to live in connection with three sources, I'm not perfect. So I spiral and then I grab myself back. But I try to live with the great, beautiful, conscious, and protecting and inquisitiveness of the mind, but the true being of the heart and the divineness of your higher power that I call God. Because when you are able to tap in to those three sources, it helps the mind not take full control. Because the mind will tell you, when I was creating Valencia key jewelry, my mother, I didn't even know. I was from poverty. I didn't know how to start a business, or that there was a thing that we could start a business.
Like a
Anyone that looked like me could start a business. I couldn't even see it. But my mother, before she passed at a very early age. Before she passed, she told me, Leah, I see you shining your light. I see you going after your destiny. I see you're not allowing your predicament to be that destiny. And she handed me these little earrings and she said, so I would encourage you to wear your earrings every day because life is hard and it will get hard. And sometimes the light within you will dim, or your destiny, or will try to get submerged. But if you wear physical earrings and symbolize them for your connection, that they're a reminder that you always have a light inside of you. You always have your destinies you can get to. So when you touch them or you feel them or you see them, let that be your physical trigger to check back into what your truth is. That was power for me. I love having tools to help the mind know the truth and be reminded of the truth and be reminded of what your truth is. Everyone's truth is different. But there is core truths. Love is truth. universally. You should always be loved, and you can still be protecting. You can still stand up for yourself. You can still do a lot of things that in love. Um, but those things are roots. And so what I decided was, what if I connected to these symbolic things that help my mind reset to where I know I'm supposed to be when I spiral, or when someone tells me something opposite, and then my brain goes in protection mode and will try to stop me from my dream. For example, I always wanted to go to Egypt. I don't know, it was in my childhood, saw it in school or something. I always wanted to go. But then I heard, oh, don't go to Egypt. It's dangerous. It's a whole lot of things. And so then the mind starts to hear and then protect. So then the mind tells me, don't go to Egypt, Leah, protect. Now we fast forward years later. I've been blessed to be around entrepreneur women that have taken me under their wing and showed me that creating my own business was possible. And so now I'm in a position to go fly and decide to create my own jewelry for symbolic reminders of what we're talking about. And then I remind myself that Egypt is a destiny that I want to be at. Because for some reason, my heart is telling me I need to go see another place to get some richness of what this truth is that I want to give to the world. But my brain is telling me, no, not safe. So I listened to my heart and got on a plane and flew to Egypt at the beginning of this journey, 2015, 2016. And it was such a magical experience that was waiting for me there. I found my symbol, I found my logo, I found my true intention that Valencia means bravery and courage, and key, as we already know, is to unlock. And so Valencia key means we always have the keys inside of us, always have the light and bravery. All we have to do is consistently choose to unlock them. I would have never found that if I had allowed the mind to only protect me and not listen to the heart, and then tap into my divine being and say, okay, now I'm asking for protection as I go through what I know I'm supposed to do. And that's just a small way of how I keep mental sanity and direction.
And here's here's one of the things, which is that we all have moments, we all get off track, we all spiral, we can all tell ourselves all kinds of stories. We
Yes.
look back on it, it's incredible how creative and terrifying we can be. And so it's not about getting off course, it's about recognize, because we all will.
Yep.
We all,
We
it's
all
about
will.
recognizing when we are and getting ourselves back on. It's kind of like, there's a level of daydreaming, of distractibility, of really having attentional challenges,
That-
right?
That's me. I am a daydream distractibility being.
But but the thing is to notice when you are,
Yep.
and then you make the choice of, is that the time, or do I
Yes.
need to get myself back on task?
Exactly.
You know, and
I even say out loud, okay, Leah, come on, come back. Focus, Leah. Focus, come back. I even talk to myself to like bring it back. Or what I wear, all of my jewelry, like the sand dollar
yes,
reminds me that we
beautiful.
always are like a shell. We always can be in turbulent times, but we will arrive to the land and sand that we are destined to be, right? So even when I'm off track or I'm daydreaming and catch a glimpse of my jewelry, it reminds me, okay, Leah, get back to where you were. You need these reminders of support in life.
All the time. I was going to tell you. So, did I feel like it? No. But did I drag myself? I said, don't think about it. Just like get in the car, go to the gym. Don't think about it. Go, go, go. And on the way back, because we also have to tap into what's happening. And Leah, I'm working on right now, my book is coming along, and I'm being presented with, starting to think about the title and the cover. And so it's like all of a sudden, as I'm driving back from the gym and doing this, it's like, boom, boom, the ideas just come, and I'm thinking about, power and a plug and being unplugged and being plugged in.
Ooh.
And all of this just like flow of information, and you don't know when it's going to hit you. You don't know. You have to just kind of allow for it and allow for that flow in yourself, and then say, I've got to take a shower.
Exactly. Okay, now I gotta get. I love that story about getting yourself to the gym. I have not tapped in yet to that. I am working hard to disrupt that pattern within me. So I'm excited. I love hearing stories of overcoming these things, because when you hear someone that does it, but and because think about it, you pushed through and got to the gym, and the flow of vision came outside of the gym. Would it have come if you had laid down in your bed? We don't know, but it sure came after you got yourself unlocked in the gym. What?
But that's the thing. And so here I'll just share with you, because this has happened to me a lot, where I've literally found a safe, I've had some idea come, and I found a safe space to pull over, and then I talk it into my phone,
Ooh,
because we
good.
swear we're going to remember, right?
Yes.
We swear we're going to remember, and then 1,000 other things come in, and I was like, what was that idea
And you
again?
know
What
it was so good,
we
but
know
you can't remember it.
it. And after having lost a bunch of them, it's you can just do that. And so, and you who are just you're so visual,
I'm so
for
good.
people who are artists, I'm always so amazed about how life, the how you see, what you see through your eyes is very different than someone, for example, who's a musician who hears differently.
Yes.
Or for me, it's just like taking somebody's narrative that I'm working with, their story and what they're struggling or challenged or want to have better, and how that just like fits together. We all have our spaces.
We all have our strengths and our gifts, and it's
Yeah.
so Lisa, I was speaking to Lisa, a beautiful heart named Lisa. Um and I was telling her, like, yeah, I got to get better at this, and this is an area I'm weak in, and I got to start focusing. She was like, "Whoa, gift management. Focus on your gifts." Hi, I saw some of my loves join. Toy, I love you. Megan, I love you. Hi,
Hold on. Okay, so Leah, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm doing it live, and I'm doing it from my heart and my head,
my loves.
which I will be happy to support you in getting yourself to that gym.
Oh,
I will help to support you to make that happen in the simplest, not blaming, not
thank you.
any of that stuff. We're going to see about, if you don't have to say anything now, but we can this is we can take this off of.
Yes,
But
yes. Because it's like, how much do you really want to go to the gym, Leah?
well, you
Exactly.
want to, the thing is
I
that
need to.
exactly, it's like the wanting to is
Yes,
often
Stephanie.
0, -3, like, so
Exactly.
want to be there. And there are people who love it. I can't, but there's another aspect of it, which is, kind of like beyond love.
Yeah, you got to. Like, and
Transcend
everything,
love.
you can't decide to do everything you want to do. There are some things you don't want to do that you just have to do.
Um,
It is the way of living the best life that you can live, truthfully.
Okay, so you said something before that I'm not going to let go, which is that you said that you're in your next disruption. And I knew
Oh,
this, as I say, that our time goes like it's a blink. I
yes.
I can barely get another, another sentence. It's like a blink. So what's your disruption now? What's your next disruption? You said you were in or going to one.
Yeah, I feel that. You see how I feel it? That's the disruption happening. I feel that there is so much more that I have to give to the world. And
Clearly,
yes,
yes.
and there are things within me that I have to, like we're talking about working out, that even though I don't want to do them, I have to do them. For example, I have self-proclaimed ADHD. Now I've diagnosed myself that. I'm not
There
no
you go.
doctor that
Good for
diagnosed.
you. That's
I
okay. Okay.
diagnosed that to myself, and I have to find strategies. Here's the disruption part. Up until now, I've done well being an artist of ADHD and functioning and doing beautiful things that I could only dream of. And that's wonderful to say you could get that far that way. But I think I'm in another season where I need to find tools that can help structure me more.
Hmm. Well, what I'm hearing from you, and then we're going to kind of need to wrap,
Mhm.
sadly. What I'm hearing from you is that you have used your resources. You have been with either purposefully or intuitively or through your process, really problem solving, using your resources, getting to the space where you are now, being able to scale your vision and your dreams to this point in time. And at this point, you need more resources in order to take your dream into another level of
It's
your
got to get out of me. It can no longer just be Leah. It has to now spread out with other heart-minded individuals that we being Megan is one, Toy is another. Like my people are,
um
are here that are
hello,
joining with me,
hello
um,
people. I'm
that are going to
getting
join me and help bring this beauty to the world and help structure me. Because if my heart is the core of it, other beings I feel will help structure the next parts of the direction, because that's not my gift.
and it's so important, you know, people saying that I don't know how to do that. There's a lot of misunderstanding and misperception about that, which is I don't know isn't a problem. I don't know is your space of clarity. Because once
Yes.
you know that you don't know, then you can act on that and find people who know how to do those pieces.
And that pairs back to what we were talking about, what the wonderful Lisa told me: manage your gifts. We get distracted of the things that we aren't good at, and then we think we've got to become more structured. I said, I think I got to become more structured. I think I have to become this numbers accounting. It will kill the dream. Focus on your gifts, and then now open up your mouth and speak the needs that you have of the beings that you need to join light with you, that can live in their gifts, because there's a structured being out there waiting to connect with Leah. There's a numbers being out there waiting to connect with Valencia Key's light, right? And then with that connection, we can shine more light into the world. So I love that, like managing your gifts, and then, like you said, realizing where maybe it's just not your gift's genius. You don't want it to become your gift genius. Now,
No.
how do we pair with?
Hmm. Because what happens is that people have their expertise, and the people who know how to do that, those other things, you know, accounting, whatever all these other pieces are, they are great at
Right?
it. That's
They wake up
right.
dreaming a number structure, right?
They're great at it. And for you or for me to become an expert into something that really is not it's not my space, and I need to be in the space that I inhabit and be able to bring more of that out. And people are there, and you find your people. Fast story, we found Lee and I found each other on Instagram, right? And I was loving her work, and we started a conversation, and then I was on with you. You hosted
Yeah.
me on in your your Instagram space,
Yeah.
and now here you are with me. And this is, get out there,
Beautiful.
give this a try. You never know where your yes is going to
Agreed.
be. Don't be
I
your no.
This has been so beautiful. I forgot that I had another
We, we have
meeting at 2:20. So we have to do this again. I love you. I don't want to jump so quick, but
we
that was
have
the call.
a fast shot for the cover.
Yes,
Cover shot.
please.
Cover shot. Conversation to be
Yes,
continued, my
please. We need more,
friend.
more. I love you.
Love you too. And if you've missed this, you haven't missed it. It's going to be living on our Instagram post. So see you soon. Positive change can happen at any point in time. See you next week. And remember, no matter what, positive change can happen. See you next time. And I've saved a seat for you.